I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
It all started with a video. Not a post, not a caption, just a video. 37 seconds long. No edits. No flashy text. Just a camera quietly filming a moment that wasn't meant for anyone else to see. But once it hit the internet, it was already too late. And for Teyana Taylor, for Iman Shumpert, and for the little girl caught in the middle, it would change everything. The video didn't come from a news outlet. It didn't even come from a known gossip blog. It appeared from a random account, with barely any followers, and no profile picture. The caption was short and cold. "This is how he talks to his daughter." What followed was a shaky clip of Iman, standing in what looked like a hallway, yelling, not screaming but visibly upset. His tone was sharp, commanding. His daughter, young and visibly nervous, stood just a few feet away, her back to the camera. She didn't say anything, just looked up at him. The clip cut off before anything else could be seen. Within minutes, it was everywhere. Twitter lit up first. People started sharing the video with shocked reactions. Some said it looked like abuse. Others said it looked like parenting. But what no one could agree on was where it came from. Who filmed it? Who had access to Iman and his daughter in such a private setting? As usual, the internet didn't wait for answers. Judgment came fast. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Iman exposed, hashtag protect the kids, and even hashtag where is Teyana. People were tagging her, demanding she respond. Some accused her of being silent. Others said she probably had no idea. But the question that echoed loudest across every platform was simple. Why was this recorded in the first place? And that's when things got even messier. Hours after the video went viral, internet detectives began digging. They noticed details in the clip that seemed oddly familiar. Furniture, lighting, the placement of wall art. A few fan accounts compared it to an old behind-the-scenes video Teyana had once posted. And that's when it hit them. The video looked like it was taken inside Teyana's home. Not a public space. Not a neutral location. Inside someone's house. That discovery changed everything. Because if the video was recorded in Teyana's home, then only a few people could have had access to it. And right at the top of that shortlist was Aaron. Aaron, the man who had entered Teyana's life after her marriage to Iman ended. The man who many fans had already grown suspicious of. The man who always seemed to be around but never quite felt fully present. People had questioned his intentions from day one. Was he really in love with Teyana? Or was he enjoying the spotlight? Was he a support system? Or was he collecting leverage? Now those questions didn't feel paranoid, they felt prophetic. Because shortly after fans started pointing fingers, an anonymous source came forward. Not just with a claim but with metadata. File data that linked the video to a specific device. And that device reportedly belonged to Aaron. Suddenly everything made sense. The angle of the camera, time of day, even the fact that the camera was already recording before Iman even entered the hallway. This wasn't a random moment caught by accident. It was planned. People were furious. The outrage didn't just come from Iman's fans. Came from parents. From people who understood the difference between discipline and abuse. From people who saw a scared father. Someone reacting out of fear because something serious had just happened. Rumors swirled that Iman's daughter had nearly run into the street moments before the video began. That his reaction wasn't about anger, but panic. That he was yelling not to harm her, but because he was terrified of what could have happened. And then came the longer version. Just as people were demanding context, someone, possibly trying to clear the air, leaked the full version of the clip. This one was nearly 3 minutes long. It showed the entire interaction from start to finish. It began with Iman calling his daughter's name, asking why she wasn't holding his hand. Then her bolting forward off-screen. Loud honk. Iman running after her. And then the confrontation. In the full video, Iman's voice wasn't just loud. It was shaking. He grabbed her gently by the shoulders and told her, "You scared me so bad. You don't run like that. You don't ever leave my side again, do you hear me?" And then, something no one expected. He hugged her, kneeling down, holding her, kissing the top of her head. The internet did a complete 180. Now the anger wasn't at Iman. It was at Aaron. People felt manipulated. They felt lied to. What had been presented as a violent father was, in reality, a scared dad reacting to a terrifying near miss. And the fact that Aaron had chosen to clip out the beginning and the end, to post only the harshest moment, felt like a betrayal not just to Iman, but to everyone watching. Tayana's name started trending again. People wondered what she knew. Did she give Aaron permission to access the cameras? Did she know he had footage? Was this something they planned together during a custody battle? Or was Aaron acting alone, trying to sabotage Iman's image for his own gain? She didn't say a word. Not for a while. But she didn't have to, because her actions spoke volumes. First, she deleted every post that featured Aaron. Every photo, every story, every saved highlight. Then she unfollowed him, quietly without a statement. But fans noticed instantly. Within minutes, the internet knew. Whatever was going on behind the scenes, Tayana wasn't on Aaron's side anymore. Then came the tweet. Not from Tayana, but from one of her closest friends. It said, "Recording a father disciplining his child to weaponize it later is the lowest thing I've ever seen." No tags, no names, but everyone knew exactly who it was about. Iman, for his part, didn't say much either. But his team released a short statement through his lawyer. "Mr. Schumpert has always prioritized the safety and well-being of his children. What happened was a deeply private parenting moment, and the unauthorized recording and distribution of that video is now being reviewed by legal counsel." Legal experts weighed in. Some said secretly recording someone in a private home without consent, especially involving a minor, was a violation of privacy laws. Others said if Aaron accessed security cameras without Tayana's permission, she could also file charges. Suddenly, what started as internet drama had turned into potential criminal behavior. Aaron tried to defend himself, weakly. He tweeted, then deleted, something along the lines of, "People love a villain even when he's right." But no one was buying it. His replies were filled with people calling him manipulative, dangerous, and obsessed with staying relevant. One fan wrote, "You tried to ruin a black father's reputation just to win a fight. You should be ashamed." Another said, "You didn't protect that child. You exposed her. For clout." The damage was done. Brands began distancing themselves from Aaron with a swiftness that spoke louder than any official statement ever could. The industry that once praised his charm and ambition began to close its doors, one by one, quietly but unmistakably. A major streaming platform, where he was rumored to be attached to a lead role, scrubbed his name from promotional materials overnight. Industry insiders stopped dropping his name. Fellow actors who had once collaborated with him unfollowed him on social media without a word. The air of favoritism he once carried in Hollywood circles evaporated almost instantly. For a man who had built his reputation on being media-savvy and charismatic, the silence was deafening. And then there was Tayana. Grounded. She didn't react with rage or a cryptic caption. She didn't subtweet. She didn't play into the scandal. Instead, she turned inward, toward the people and passions that gave her strength. Her social media returned to life, but not in the way the tabloids expected. No mention of Aaron. No reference to Iman. Just her daughter, her work, and her craft. One post showed her in the studio, headphones on, brows furrowed in focus. The caption was a single word. Energy. No hashtags. No tags. No need. The message was clear. She was protecting her peace and pouring everything into her purpose. Behind the scenes, it was reported that she and Iman had a quiet, private conversation. Just the two of them. No managers. No cameras. No need for damage control. Just two parents sitting down, trying to figure out how to shield their daughter from a world that seemed intent on turning her life into clickbait. No one knows what was said. No leaks, no transcripts. But not long after, Iman posted a rare photo of himself holding their daughter in his arms, both smiling. The caption was just one word: always. And that was all it took. The public tone began to shift. Fans stopped feeding the scandal machine and started asking real questions. Questions about boundaries, about children, about the price of fame. Posts began circulating with messages like, "Stop dragging kids into this mess. Enough with using family moments as ammunition. Children aren't props. They're people." And right at the center of that renewed awareness stood Teyana, graceful, unshaken, and resolute. Not because she won a battle, but because she refused to be pulled into one in the first place. She didn't crumble. She didn't spiral online, she didn't clap back, and she didn't go on a press tour to air out the pain. She didn't post cryptic quotes or engage in the digital tit-for-tat the internet has grown so addicted to. Instead, she did something far more powerful. She removed what needed to be removed, quietly, and kept moving forward. And that's what made people respect her even more. It wasn't just her silence. It was the intention behind that silence. The dignity, the discipline, the message that some things, especially when it comes to your child, are too sacred for public consumption. She made one thing clear without ever needing to say it. Her loyalty was to her daughter, not to the man who had used betrayal as leverage. She wasn't protecting her pride. She was protecting her peace. And in doing so, she protected her daughter's peace too. No dramatics, no exploitation, just strength rooted in love and restraint. As for Aaron, he vanished. His accounts went quiet. No new posts, no new collaborations, no industry buzz. The charming public persona he had so carefully curated seemed to evaporate. If rumors are to be believed, he's not just facing digital backlash. He's facing real-world consequences. Legal reviews, contract terminations, calls from once close colleagues gone unanswered. Because what happened wasn't just drama. It was a line crossed. A line that, once you step over, especially when it involves a child, is nearly impossible to come back from. People started viewing the situation not just through the lens of celebrity gossip, but through something deeper, something more sobering. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a warning. A reminder that in the age of constant exposure, where everything is filmed and uploaded in seconds, the most dangerous people aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're the ones watching silently, waiting, studying your breaking point, then hitting record. And in that contrast, between Teyana's grace and Aaron's calculated silence, the truth became undeniable. This wasn't a feud. It was a revelation, a shift in how people think about boundaries, about privacy, and about who gets to tell the story when you're too hurt to speak. Teyana chose her daughter, Aaron chose the camera, and the world chose to remember.